Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do an episode of Pitch, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. Instead of pitching you a movie idea, we're going to pitch a concept. The realistic timeline of Bruce Wayne, also known as the Batman. How can Batman fit as many and as much of his heroic exploits, storylines, and milestones into one realistic lifetime? That is our goal today, and so let's dive right into it. If this has a fanficky type feel to it, it's because there are a lot of continuity issues and a lot of plausibility issues where a lot of creative liberties have to be taken in order to get things to fit. So our story begins in 1984. Bruce Wayne is born. No rhyme or reason to me picking 1984 other than the fact that it's a very ominous year in pop culture, literature, and things like that. I wrestled between 1984 and 1989 for obvious reasons, but I picked 1984. So fast forward to 1992. Joe Chill kills Thomas and Martha Wayne in front of Bruce. Bruce is 8 years old. After the death of his parents, Bruce embarks immediately on his journey for justice, willing himself to excel mentally in the time from 1992 to 2000. In this span of time, Bruce completes primary school and college, taking interest in law, criminal justice, psychology, sociology, economics, and chemistry. This era ends when the League of Shadows actively recruits Bruce in the year 2000. Bruce is 16 years old. Similarly to what we see in Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins, Bruce trains for 10 years with the League of Shadows. One aspect of this time that I think would lend to its credibility is if Bruce recognizes early that the League of Shadows needs to be stopped. So Bruce positions himself as number 2 in charge of planning and strategy, where he can mitigate casualties and bring them down from the inside. During this time, around 2009, Bruce and Talia al Ghul are intimate. In 2010, Bruce incites a coup within the League of Shadows, emboldening a brash Jean-Paul Valley to take on Ra's al Ghul. This effectively halts the League of Shadows in a civil war as Bruce defects in 2010. Immediately, we see that in order to get Bruce to the point at which Batman can begin to thrive as a concept, both mentally and physically, it takes nearly 20 years of preparation. So, in 2011, at the age of 26-27, Bruce returns to Gotham, flirting with the idea of being a vigilante. And finally, in the year 2012, the events as depicted in Batman Year One and Batman Begins unfold over the next 12 to 16 months. Batman has started his war on crime and is already 28 years old. In 2015, Bruce is 31 and encounters the chaos by way of the Joker as seen in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. All plot points are on the table except for the Dent Act. Now in 2017, Bruce is tracking down a mid-level boss named Tony Zuko. The investigation leaves Bruce one step behind an extortion case that leaves the parents of one Dick Grayson killed in a tragic act of sabotage. Bruce's guilt and seeing the reflection of himself in Dick causes Bruce to take Dick on as his ward. Bruce is 33. Dick is 13. In 2018, Robin is being trained but starts out in plain clothes as a glorified decoy or lookout. That same year, the escalation mentioned in The Dark Knight leads to the year known as the Long Halloween. So now it's 2020, and this is the closest we get to the Bill Dozier Batman and Robin, where Batman is essentially ignored by the police and Robin goes out on patrol. Here we have a 15-year-old Robin and a 36-year-old Batman. At 36, any elite professional athlete will describe their slow decline. An NFL wide receiver or free safety can serve as an example. Bruce will definitely buy himself more years because of his strong will and determination. But this is the point where Bruce begins to push Dick with the idea that Gotham needs a Batman. He never tells Dick this, but this is the thing that motivates his taskmaster drill sergeant coldness towards Dick. This continues to the year 2024. Robin is 19, and he has had enough. Robin becomes Nightwing, leaves the mansion, leaves the cave, and eventually leaves Gotham for Bloodhaven. Now Bruce is mentally determined still, but becomes more weary in his bones. In 2025, Bruce stumbles upon Jason Todd, a brash, crude, 16-year-old teenage thug that Bruce believes he can mentor and steer in the right direction. He takes him on, and in 2028, Jason has completed training and is out on patrol with Bruce. A year later, the unthinkable happens. A group of Batman's rogues, with the mob included, put out a bounty on the Batman. It is the Nightfall Saga, but with a twist. At 45, Bruce challenges Bane. Bruce is 45 years old and encounters Bane. Bane challenges the Bat and breaks him, and Jason becomes a Nightfall Red Hood hybrid. He's willing to kill and maim the criminals of Gotham. This is not in line with the teachings and the style of Bruce and the Batman. During this time, Alfred leaves the cave and quietly goes off to retire. Selina Kyle nurses Bruce back to health, and in the later years of his recovery, Bruce and Selina are intimate. So in 2031, Batman is 47, has a heart-to-heart with Dick and tells him all the things he wanted to hear with all the love of a father. Now, they challenge the heavily armored Jason for the mantle. In the battle, in the style of Le Mort d'Arthur, both Dick and Jason kill one another. This becomes Batman's greatest failure. This is the death of the family. That same year in Metropolis, an alien emerges, appearing around 23 years old. The year is now 2032. Bruce is alone and is haunted by anger and grief. Batman Hush occurs, and Bruce's knowledge of the Riddler and Poison Ivy allows Bruce, Batman, to save Superman. Later that same year, the Killing Joke ensues with Barbara being shot. She is not Batgirl. It ends with Batman confronting the Joker, laughing hysterically, the Joker being committed to Arkham, and the Batman retiring. It was one bad day too many for Bruce. Soon after, the federal government passed stricter legislation on Good Samaritans and vigilantes. 10 years passed from 2032 to 2042, and the Dark Knight returns, but again with a twist. This is the story of two children, Bruce's own Battle of the Bastards. This story is a mix between The Dark Knight Returns, The Son of Batman, and The Court of Owls. Damian Wayne, who is 37 years old, comes back, leading the reformed League of Shadows, where the mutant leader is replaced with Damian and the Court of Owls. Carrie Kelly becomes Carrie Kyle, who is 13 and was born as Helena Carrie Kyle. Batman defeats Damian and swears that Gotham will have a protector as long as he is alive. Bruce is old. He's 58. 16 years later, Bruce goes out on his final mission to save a kidnapped debutante. Despite having a suit with the technology that augments and enhances his strength and endurance, His heart gives out while fighting a lowly thug. Bruce turns for the gun that he had earlier wrestled away and points it at the kidnapper. Bruce is horrified at what he knows, that it's over. Never again. "10 years later in New Gotham, 2074, Bruce is 90 years old. A headstrong punk kid named Terry McGinnis ventures into the Palisades, trying to escape a regional gang known as the Jokers. Terry enters the mansion, finds the cave, and the story continues." The story continues, but this story is over. We have mapped out Bruce's life all the way from age 8 to age 90. Write your own story for how he, passes away. But the story of Bruce as the Batman essentially ends with Terry McGinnis and Batman Beyond. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I got enough of the hallmark moments of the Batman mythos into this timeline. If you found a place or a story that I missed that I could have squeezed in, or a few changes, let's geek out and do fan fiction on this together in the comments. Thank you.